Thanks for tuning in to Embrace the Madness. This is your host, Madeline. If you are a regular listener of Embrace the Madness, then welcome back. And if you have never listened before, then this podcast is really just a source of knowledge and wisdom and experience that I've had that I want to share to help you feel better about your life and yourself and make crazy things come true because we got the power. I feel like I've used that before, but that's okay because it's just a fantastic song and it's true. We do have the power. So if you are a regular follower, then you know it's been about really like a month. I think literally the last episode that I posted was a relationship Q&A with my boyfriend Davis, which is pretty juicy if you want to listen, but you probably saw it if you're listening to this now. So yeah, I think that's the last one that I recorded, and I just wanted to obviously touch base since it's been a month and I was regularly posting weekly, and just so many things have been happening in my life, and I know everybody's got their own stuff, but I just wanted to, touch base and share where I've been. It's a brand new season now, so just so much is different. So many transitions are happening. And yeah, I think that it's kind of universal and that we're all dealing with these things. And, before I get in, I did want to share that if you didn't already know, I've got a Patreon that's live and open and full of really cool stuff. This month, the postcard is this beautiful watercolor with these flowers. It's kind of like an array of flowers and it's almost like rainbowy colors. It's really awesome. My mom did it. Thanks, Mom. And yeah, so those are coming out in postcard form to all my subscribers. And the first tier membership's $5. And with that $5, you get a postcard and you get access to weekly bonus episodes. So that's a cool deal. I've also got $15 tier subscription where you can get the podcast, the bonus episodes. I also post monthly journal prompts, affirmations that you can use in your life and in your journal. My friend put some on the background screen of her phone, which is awesome. Thanks, Jordan. And what else? Yeah, just really like silly stuff. Like I posted the video version of the relationship Q&A. So just kind of access to behind the scenes. And as I navigate into the future and more cool things, then things are just going to be more available too. And so then also there's another tier for $30, and those are my super supporters. And you get access to all the bonus content, plus we'll do a Zoom call where we can figure out what dreams you might have and where you want to go. And it really just helps to have like a sounding board and someone to share your ideas with. So I'm offering that to you all. So yeah, if you are interested in any of that and want to support me and my art, then you can log on to patreon.com/embracethemadness. So as you'll see, the title of the episode is It's Time to Spring Forward. And I think we all are like, duh. And I kind of was wondering what I was going to do this podcast episode about. Trust me, I've been trying not to eat myself alive because I haven't posted in a month. And I think that's also a source of exploration for me, but I'll get there in a second. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about all these transitions and what springing forward means and how we can kind of parallel with nature. And yes, so where I've been all over the place. I think we're all still kind of navigating this post-winter, I don't even know what the word is, but we'll just say funk. If winter could be funky. But yeah, it's just, we got that big old snow. If you're down in the South, we got like record snowfall. I'm pretty sure it's happening all over the country, all over the world. The weather's like, hey, let's do this today. So things have been weird. We were like not trapped in our house, thank goodness. But like we couldn't go anywhere. I have a 4-wheel drive, but I'm not really familiar with driving on the snow, so I was just like a little apprehensive, and I was more than comfortable staying at home and not doing anything. But I think sometimes I feel this need and compulsion to do more and create more, and this isn't enough, and you need to be doing this, and blah 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 blah. And so I've really been trying to lean into that because I think sometimes I don't give myself a break, and I feel like I've probably done that my whole life. But I've noticed it's especially a trend with my podcast. I think a goal that I set when I first started was that it would be weekly. And that sounds great, but then you're also like, okay, cool. I'm like post a year in. So like every single week. And just as well as I do that being present and full of energy every week is not always a reality. And so I had been like trying to see where my different energy levels were at. How could I maximize my efficiency through using my energy levels like on a natural level? When can I maybe record when I'm feeling good? And it's like when you go through these seasons of not feeling good, it's just kind of like you're just feeling like you're forcing yourself and you feel like you're not giving yourself a break. And I think as we all kind of have learned through this pandemic, is just like, we don't know what the F is going on. Yeah, it's just been so hard to navigate. Like, it's important to acknowledge our blessings, but I think also, like, we can't pretend that we didn't struggle through this whole entire year. I think that is worthy of acknowledgement. And I think that navigating this winter was really hard. And we already are all like going stir crazy, then throw like a snowstorm, and Memphis was on a boil advisory. And if you don't know what a boil advisory is, it means that the water pressure or some other reason is creating like unstable water conditions. And so we are blessed in Memphis with beautiful, lovely drinking water, and like all of our water mains were busting, and it hadn't been this cold in decades. And so because of all these breaks, the water wasn't getting to the pressure needed to eliminate toxins and bacteria and all these things. So as a precaution, they were like, okay, well, everybody needs to boil all the water that they drink. So this means that all this water that we take for granted, like, I mean, I'm not saying everybody does, but for the most part, we assume that we can just turn on a sink and get water. Well, we had to get on like this boiling routine, and not to mention it's like single digit temperatures outside, but it was just a really eye-opening experience of like, oh my God, gratitude's really important because not having water is not cool. And I know that's definitely a first world privilege, and I'm so grateful to have access to clean water, but it doesn't make it any less stressful. So that was all happening. Not to mention, let's see. Well, I guess I had just gotten like this remote job, but also navigating, getting back into work after not working for nearly a year is challenging, and creating structure and discipline for yourself is challenging. So me dealing with all of these things, and on top of shaming myself for not posting a freaking podcast episode, was just like, I was just turning into this like warm ball of goo. Not to mention like money has just been something that's coming up, and not having a job and, kind of using all your funds. And then you're like, oh shit, well, now I'm really stressed out. And I just been going through it. And so it's been really challenging for me to come out of that in a way that allows me to be creative. And even the sticky note that I'm looking at on my wall is remember to fill your cup first. You can't fill from an empty cup. And I think that's just what has been happening. And I have to be mindful because I'm not trying to give myself excuses. I'm just trying to pinpoint where things went and why certain things started happening. And so if you have been following, Davis and I just moved into this new house in November. And so me making these transitions and getting settled and trying to, get a job and figure out how things are going to look this year, I haven't really done a successful job at reestablishing my habits. And so when I lived in my apartment, I had my podcast kind of thing set up. I knew basically what every day was going to look like, and I knew what every week was going to look like. And I knew, okay, well, normally I record these days, and normally I do this, and normally I do this. Well, when you move in a new house, there's just so many new variables. And also, I've never lived with a partner. And if you listen in the relationship episode, it's just such a challenge to navigate. And it's not bad or good. It's just a new challenge to navigate. It's a new transition to navigate. And sometimes getting your footing back in new territory is hard. And so I've just been trying to be really mindful of that. Also, I still sometimes get nervous, and recording a podcast when Davis is home freaks me out. I don't understand why. I don't think like he's going to judge me, or maybe I do. I'm not sure. And I know even though I preach vulnerability, it's still hard for me. A lot of the time, it's still really hard for me, especially when you get out of practice. And so I've also realized that these have all been kind of excuses, and I'm being really mindful not to shame myself, but they've kind of just been like excuses piling up. And so it is what it is. Here I am recording now, and that's really the only important part. But that's kind of where I've been. And so me historically holding myself to high expectations, navigating these new treacherous changes has just been an adventure in itself. And so I've been working on filling my cup, and it's been an adventure. Let's just say that. I also started this really cool course. It's like 4 months long. It's through one of my favorite podcasts, Manifestation Babe. If you are into feminine energy and manifestation and all these like woo-woo things, and you would love the heck out of it, she's great. And I've been starting that. And so a lot of just things have been coming up, and my awareness of my limiting beliefs has been coming up. And when you hold yourself accountable and you are looking at yourself for what you are and what you stand for and all of these things under the surface, it's challenging. And it's challenging like swallowing that pill of, yeah, I have been creating these patterns in my life, and it's because of these beliefs that I've had. And that's just it. And so yeah, we're just freaking navigating. But I guess like that's also what self-development is, and investing in yourself, and this journey that I talk about all the time. Like, it's so worth it, but that doesn't make it any less challenging and sometimes overwhelming. And I think that's okay. And I think, I don't know, just navigating transitions is really challenging. And so I know I talked a lot about, especially like the transition from fall to winter, like letting go. I think for some reason, I guess that was easier for me, but also, I guess maybe I wasn't like fully letting go. And I think we're always going to be navigating this process of letting go of things that don't serve us, but who knows? Here we are. So, yeah, just navigating, finally getting settled, finally feeling comfortable, finally filling my cup, finally coming around and believing in myself, finally giving myself a break on life, and also realizing that because this podcast is so focused on authenticity and being your true self, I've realized that I need to be more mindful in terms of why I'm posting and when I'm posting. And like, I think it's great to set a weekly goal of posting, and creating content. But if that starts interfering with your mental health, then hello, maybe you should make some changes. So that's been definitely something that I'm learning, and remembering to create authentically and not from a place of, well, I'm not good enough, or I'm not posting enough, or these people are not going to follow me if I don't post this, blah, blah, blah. All these crazy things that our mind likes to tell us. Whatever. I'm over it. I am here to be authentic. I'm here to be myself, because I think that's really what you benefit from too, is me showing up as myself completely, authentically, and sharing that with you so that you may also be authentic, because I don't want to encourage you to create and be from this place of force. So here we are. We're here to be authentic. It's 2021. Boom, boom, boom. I've also been trying to utilize this creative energy in creating music, and so that's been kind of fun. It's still kind of hard to create when your cup is empty, but I've been navigating that. And if you have been keeping up with me, I do the weekly radio show, which maybe I can just shift my attitude to like, okay, well, that's my weekly discipline. So that's been fun. That's been awesome. WYXR is lovely and wonderful, and I'm super, super grateful to be a part of the radio program. So that's what I've been up to. And yeah, just overcoming my beliefs, overcoming the things that are holding me back, remembering that I am already enough as I am, remembering that abundance is always around the corner. Actually, it's not even around the corner. It's already here. I just have to put on that pair of glasses that isn't too dirty, So, yeah, springing forward. I think we can all probably feel this heavy energy of moving out of winter. I think winter inherently is this idea that we kind of take things slow and we come back to ourselves and we rest and we stop moving. I mean, winter and summer are not the same. And I feel like summer's got this big, bright, vibrant energy where you are just like full throttle. And winter's not like that. I would even say that winter's kind of the opposite. We need to conserve our energy and rest so that we can go full throttle later in the year. And I'm sure you've been feeling it, but it's kind of hard it's like a state change, like how molecules have to go from solid to liquid or liquid to gas. It takes energy, and it takes like intention and movement. And yeah, it's not like you can just snap your fingers and just be like, okay, spring's here. I'm ready. And I have to kind of be gentle with myself and remember that, and remember that it's going to take some time. I don't know if you're an early riser or kind of like a slow morning person, but I definitely am a slower morning person. And sometimes it takes me a good 15 to 20 minutes to like get up. And I think that's okay. I think we all have our different ways that we transition from one energetic state to the other. But that's kind of what winter reminds me of, is we have to kind of get in this pattern of, oh, okay, it's not frigid cold outside. Oh, it's the sun's out. So I can go outside and I can celebrate and I can go be out in the warm weather, and really just like navigating that transition. And even though losing an hour is not cool, at least we get another hour of daylight at the end. And I think that's the cool part, because, it's always really nice, like when the sun's setting and it's like still 7:30 p.m. and it's just like, those late summer nights, that's a blessing in itself. So for anybody that's been feeling similar to me, like it's been really hard and challenging to navigate this transition, just remember to be gentle with yourself, because I think that's where we get a lot of power, when we can use that energy in a healthy and constructive way. Because, if we're fighting against ourselves, like, we're just not going to move forward. We're not moving backward or forward. We're just staying in the same spot. And I think we're all interested in evolving and growing and becoming our best selves. So I would definitely recommend being gentle with yourself. And another thing too is to take advantage of like the change. Take advantage of the weather change. At least down here in the South, it's been getting a little bit warmer, and I'm not really quite sure how it is around the world. I think Denver just got another big snow, so we're all at different parts of our journey, and it looks different for everyone. And I think that's why it's important for us to tune in to what this is meaning for our individual selves, because only we know for ourselves, And so, yeah. Be mindful of these changes that are happening. Be gentle with yourself. Make sure you do hold yourself to some sort of accountability, like me. Like, were you kind of caught in this thought pattern? Were you caught in this loop where you were just kind of stuck? Are you being too hard on yourself? Are you holding yourself to impossible standards? Kind of check in with yourself and say, where am I in terms of this transition? Where am I in terms of springing forward? Where am I? I think that's always an important question to ask. And I guess the more philosophical and weird part of my brain's like, oh, well, where are we ever, Because, if everything's an illusion and a projection, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure you're like, ooh, what are you talking about? Sometimes I wonder if people are into that stuff. But I remember I used to be like, oh, yeah, I don't think parallel realities exist. And then I guess one day I was like, what was I thinking? But I think that's definitely another episode for another day. But I'm super grateful to be back. Davis just got a new job, so I can be comfortable in recording by myself again, which is exciting. And I get to kind of recreate my morning routines again. I used to have a cup of coffee and go outside to journal, so I've done that a couple times this week. And yeah, I think this weather change is just good for all of us. And really, at least for me, remembering these parallels that we have like with nature is just really helpful too. I think as we became like evolved as a society and able to function during the winter, because if you look at animals, they're hibernating. The birds aren't really out chirping and doing their thing in the winter. And so we kind of like beat the system and whatever, and we're trying to be fully productive and functional at all times, and sometimes this is not part of our rhythm, and that's okay. So yeah, I'm super happy to be back. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks for listening even when I took a little baby hiatus. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for being you. Thanks for showing up for yourself, for the world. Because when we can do that, then I think that's where change will really, really come through. But I'm excited for the spring. I have so much hope. I have so much faith. And yeah, I'm sending you all the love and don't stop embracing the madness, baby. Okay. Well, I will catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much. I will talk to you soon. Bye. If you'd like access to more podcasts and a postcard each month, check us out on patreon.com/embrace madness.